And we're finally back after a couple of weeks hiatus because I went on holiday and was selfish. So none of our great fans got all the glorious movie news, which we'll kind of do a quick wrap up and actually bring you bang up to date with some breaking news. But before we get there, we have watched things. We want to recommend things to you. So apparently Bruce has watched loads. So
Yes.
he's gagging to go. So
I am.
we'll let Bruce go and then we'll fill in if we've watched it and then probably go, yeah.
I
watched
will
something else.
guarantee you guys didn't watch half of what I watched in the last week. It's a guarantee.
All right.
It's been 2 weeks, I think, isn't it? I don't, however long it's been. So
2
I've had
weeks.
plenty of time. So I've provided myself and everybody the top 10 things I watched in the last week.
You watched more than 10 things.
I watched more than 10 things in the last 2 weeks, I guess.
Why can't you do this like during like the actual like when we do a season, rather than just watching the podcast film and then not watching anything, so we can't recommend additional things? You just built it up to this week.
What luckily happened was Halloween happened, and I thought, right, on Halloween, I'm going to watch a whole bunch of horror movies. So that is part of my top 10. So top 10, from 10 to number 1, so basically worst to best. Well, number 10, I didn't really watch a 10th thing necessarily, because number 10 is not really ranked number 10, but you should watch Waiting ahead of our podcast this week, because that's the 10th thing I watched this week. I'm not saying it's necessarily the worst.
I was going to say, this does not bode well for the score.
It's not necessarily the worst, it's just I'm putting that at number 10 to round out my list of 10 things. So Waiting, I watched it on Freevee through Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it. It has like 6 advert breaks of like a minute and a half in it. And it worked pretty easily for me. Give me a chance to write my notes down. So that's number 10. Number 9, I watched episode 1 of Andor. I cannot tell you a thing that happened.
Well, that's because nothing really happens. They walk. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Is Andor? Oh, that's the guy Andor. A whole bunch of people talk to each other. I couldn't make out half of it. It's like everyone just kind of goes, Andor, the Empire. I keep turning the volume up. I can't hear what anyone's saying the whole time.
I was gonna say, you wait till Skarsgård comes in because he gets worse.
Right, okay. And it's like I don't know what is going on. Like the posh English guys in the blue come into it. It's like, oh right, okay, I know what you guys are saying, and you are entertaining characters. You're doing something. Everybody else is just the same. Like nobody, I don't know what anyone's name is outside of Andor. Everyone seems to be some kind of rebel sort of thing, and all up to no good.
Well, strap in because I think I got to episode 7 or whatever the last one was I just watched, like last week's one. Something finally happens and makes most of it kind of worthwhile. Oh. But still, the only person I know in this entire series is Andor and a surprise guest who I just call by their real name.
Right, exactly, yeah. And Stellan Skarsgård, I imagine you just call him by his real name.
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
just Skarsgård too. He has it.
But yeah, they introduced about 10 characters. I don't know what anyone's called.
Yeah, it gets worse for the next 4 episodes. It's just that. It's more of that. Right, plus those characters on top talking to new characters, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it's just one part. Every scene is somebody going to speak to somebody. They have a conversation, and then one of them goes and speaks to somebody else, and they have a conversation. And another part, like, it's just a series of conversations. And I don't really know what the context of any of it is. So that's number 9.
There is a final payoff, and like I said, it does make it worthwhile, and you actually kind of like Andor a bit better. So.
Right, okay. I say that's only one episode I've watched, so that was actually over a week ago. Number 8, and it's only ranked number 8 because it's not a film, and I wanted to put all the films at the top, is I finished Welcome to Wrexham, and I can't remember if I said that last week on the podcast.
You did.
I did.
Yeah,
I finished it. It was good.
Well, we're putting that in. I was just going to fill up gaps in between it. See, David Beckham's trying to rip off Ryan Reynolds now in Disney.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Except with the kids' team rather than actual club, isn't it?
What a twat. Ryan Reynolds thunder.
And Wrexham were on the telly this week as well. I watched most of one of their games that were being played live on television. No spoilers for next season, but they were on television. Right, on to the movies. The top 10 from worst to best, or top 7 worst to best films I watched in the last week. Moonfall. Remember that came out about 6 months ago? It's Samuel Tarly going to the moon.
It's totally just an action-packed like shit show of a film with no story and none of it makes sense, and I told you this.
I cannot get across to you, Chris, because you apparently haven't seen it, how little this delivered on its potential.
Okay.
Like, this is, I think, 10 times worse than I thought it could have been. And like everything Andy says is true. It is utter nonsense, and everybody acts at like 120%. Like everything is just everyone massively overacting, and it's just like, and then it's not it's kind of not what I thought it was about. Nope. And then once it becomes not what I thought it was about, I lost all idea of what was going on, what the moral of the story was, or anything like that. And it's just preposterous. It was really bad, but not so bad it was good. It was just at that point where it didn't reach like coming back up the other side again.
I'm
It was
telling
just
you, waiting's not boding well with his list, Chris.
I know.
I was worse than that, but it's not technically worse than that. Anyway, that was number 7. Number 6, Final Destination, the original Final Destination.
Classic.
First time I'd ever seen it. Disappointing. But
Oh,
I can feel the potential is there for like number 3 and 4 are probably quite good for Final Destination.
you just hate Devon Sawa. That's what your issue
Well,
is.
I had no idea he was in it. Because God, I could see his entire filmography as David Sawa now. But Final Destination, I think I'd seen the train track bit on like a stunts program where they were showing me how that worked because I recognised that, but no, I was not aware of everything else. Again, they kind of don't ever actually explain what's happening in Final Destination. I'm assuming to set up another 5.
It does explain shit.
But yeah, it was all right. Like, it was like, I think it was the year 2000. It feels like the absolute most mid-90s thing I've watched in years, and it was from the year 2000, which is a bad look. Number 5, a film called I Came By. It's probably the newest thing I watched at home in the last week. It was a Netflix thing I watched. It's got Kelly MacDonald in it. She's probably the biggest star name in it. Essentially, the advertising on it is a creepy-looking guy looking down into his basement, which you are in, is the advert. It's fine for what it is. However, it's about 2 chapters too long where they kind of start repeating themselves and doing the same thing over and over again. It's a good kind of mystery sort of, oh, what's going on? Oh, that's going on. How are they going to get themselves out of this? And then it kind of concludes in the end. It was all right. It wasn't bad. Certainly better than Moonfall. Number 4, Last Night in Soho, with Andy's favourite actress, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Not bad.
Far more style than substance, which I thought it was going to be going into it. Some of the most obvious twists I've seen in a movie in a while. Like, I think I worked out every single little nuance that was going to come in the last half hour, about half an hour into it. It's like, oh, well, that's that, and that's that, and yeah, there we go. Okay, if you enjoy the 60s and the sort of 60s sort of feeling, it's good for that aspect of it. And most people are good at acting in it, I would say. And once again, Andy's boy Matt Smith actually is in it and is pretty good at being Matt Smith in it. So
Yep.
I know he's a bit of a career renaissance, Matt Smith, at the moment. Right, in the top 3, like the actual things I liked. The Blair Witch Project. I watched that in Halloween. It's been a while since I've seen it, and me and Jade were essentially picking horror movies, which is why we've watched these random sort of horror things. I forced her to watch it. She hates scary horror films. She watched half of it with her eyes covered, and I kept shouting, there's nothing scary in the Blair Witch Project. There is, and on watching again, nothing scary happens. There's nothing at all. But I just really enjoy the execution of the Blair Witch Project. It's no surprise that it's good, and I can see why it spawned 100 other films just like it. Number 2, Arrival. Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, sort of alien invasion. Again,
shit.
I went into that only knowing they 2 actors were in it and giant spaceship. And that's literally, those 3 things were all I knew about it. Again, it was more of a sort of emotional drama than it was alien end of the world style thing. Pretty good, but I'm not going to rush out to watch it again. But yeah, it was a nice twist on aliens have come to Earth. What on Earth's going to happen next, sort of thing. It was a good twist on that. And number 1, the best movie I watched in the last 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever it was. And I apologise for anything negative I may have said beforehand. And I will now stand for no slander of Black Adam beyond this moment right now. The Rock's latest DC Comics superhero action movie is actually good. Yeah. And I will not have anybody abuse it. It is good. End of story.
I was like I said in my review, there's just enough story and then a lot of action, but the action's still not over the top, and it just keeps just enough. So
yeah, it's right. Yeah, its pacing is very different to a lot of action movies. Like they do the whole accidentally wreck cities all around them, like they do in every action movie superhero film. But yeah, Andy will know what I'm talking about, having seen it. I'm assuming Chris, you haven't seen Black Adam yet, but the when they wound everything up, and I thought Black Adam was done with the end of the movie, I thought, that's time-wise, that's probably the end of the movie. So I didn't think that's how they were going to do things. And then, there's another half hour's worth, and it's like, right, that makes sense then. And then everything gets neatly tied up, and it's good. I'm excited. I was well excited when the mid-credits bumper thing that everyone knew was happening. I was like, yes, it's quite exciting.
Had the worst kept secret in movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I had my bizarre cinema experience though. I can't go to the cinema without something weird happening. I took Mr. H, me and my dad were there. He came up and we went and saw it. He's a big fan of The Rock. So we're sitting watching it, and I would estimate 15 minutes into the film, certainly before Black Adam'd, like before he got Shazammed and all that sort of stuff, before that happened, a guy got up from his seat wandered down the stairs, and went out the fire exit. I used to work in the cinema, so I know the building. Went out the fire exit. Now, the fire exit door didn't shut properly, so literally throughout the whole film, the fire exit door was open with like a light coming in. And it was a tiny little J.J. Abrams style flick of light on the screen, so it didn't really bother anyone. But I was like 2 people in deep, like I had to bother 2 people to go that way and 2 people that way to get out and shut the door to go back to my seat. I thought, I can't be bothered with that. It's not bothering me that much. But not one person ever came in to check the screen to make sure that everything was okay. So this door stood open the entire time. And then it got to the end of the movie, and I was like, that guy never came back. So,
quick exit.
Yeah. So I've been thinking ever since, like, I wonder if he needed like an alibi for being somewhere. And it's like, oh, I was at Black Adam in the cinema. Look, here's my ticket, and you can see that here's me arriving. Go ask them for the CCTV footage. I walked into that screen. But yeah, like before The Rock got into it, you couldn't be bored or sick of the movie yet. Nothing had happened. They just left and never came back in again. So yeah, another wild, random event happening to me when I'm at the movies. And that's me. That's everything I've watched in the last however long it's been.
There you go, Chris. You got anything to add to Mop Up?
I realise I've been neglecting my Marvel rewatch, so I smashed in a few of them. Captain America: Civil War, Black Widow, Black Panther, and Spider-Man: Homecoming.
So you're doing a kind of timeline order rather than release order.
Well, whatever Disney's thingy is, that's how I'm doing it. So, Captain America, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Black Widow. That's the order of bestness out of them.
I still think Black Panther is overrated and Black Widow is underrated because they're basically the same story. Like, it's not that different. The films are basically the same.
Chris got hard on because they changed Taskmaster.
Right, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We hate it. It's like, why? Why would you do that? Maybe Harlem's the wrong word.
I know.
It's like
oh my god, I'm so furiously
so angry.
this.
So angry.
So angry.
So they should have kept Taskmaster as it was, but I think she's due to come back in the Thunderbolt or something. So yeah, so that's what I watched. Oh, I've been doing a Red Dead Redemption replay, so that's what's taking most of my time as well.
Like the first one or the second one?
Oh, second one.
This is not a gaming podcast, but Call of Duty and Halo's where it's at. So
that's all I've done.
So I've not got really much to add because I was away sunning myself in Jamaica on my honeymoon. However, what I did watch while I was away is American Horror Story season 11's finally dropped.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, new American Horror Story. So we thought, oh, we'll put this on in the hotel room. Downloaded it, watched it. I was like, right, okay. Because I couldn't stream it. I literally had to physically download it because it was kind of going jerky. So started watching it. And I was like, ooh, that's Russell Tovey from Things. He's in it. That's Zachary Quinto back again. He's in Things. And then Billy Lord, she's back in it. I was like, this is pretty good. Now,
there's a twist coming here.
There's a twist.
Yeah.
I'm really, really enjoying the story. However, if you can imagine 2 people on their honeymoon, okay, and then the doors are not that thick, okay?
Right, okay.
And you're watching American Horror Story, which is probably the closest thing I've ever watched to just basically being full on porn.
But like some aggressive porn as well, like some horror porn.
It's very full on. What's it, BD? The
BDSM.
The bondage stuff. Yeah. It was very much that. Very, very homoerotic. Very loud, aggressive grunts for quite some time. Now, I watched 4 of these episodes, and all 4 of them were pretty much the same.
Okay.
So you and Charlie walking around the hotel, I was going, "Fucking hell, have you heard that?" They go off online.
Like, because we had it on quiet. It's like, but it was like when you put it on quiet. It's like, right, okay, we'll just get through this scene, turn it back up a bit, and it'll just flick back to this guy absolutely nailing this other guy. I was like, down, shush, shush, shush. And it just comes out of nowhere, pretty much. So, other than it's very porny, the story of American Horror Story is pretty good. That's my hot take.
Nicola watches American Horror Stories.
Well, she's in for a treat when that comes on to Disney, because it's coming on to Disney in the UK very soon.
Outside of bondage, what's the gimmick for season 11? Because they all have a different thing about them, don't they?
Yeah, it's set in 1980s America, New York, right at the height of the gay scene, kind of the pride stuff happening. But the twist is the government are doing something to the gays.
Oh, okay.
It's very kind of in your face, kind of Pride right now. What it is, but set back in the 80s.
Right.
But yeah, there's a good underlying twist on there, and it's. But I wouldn't say it's spooky. There's some bad bits in it. Yeah, but yeah, when that comes onto Disney Plus over in the UK, because obviously, because I got it early because I was in Jamaica, so I had Disney Jamaican, so I had the American Jamaica Disney Plus. But yeah, it's coming over to the UK very soon. But yeah, it's coming onto Disney Plus in the UK.
Oh God! So get your PIN code set up for Disney.
It's gonna be carnage. But yeah, that was my one thing I didn't actually watch, other than on the plane, the 9-hour flight. I did The Hobbits, which 1 amazing, 2 not needed, 3 pretty good.
I fell asleep in the second one, I think. If I remember.
The second one's pointless. But I was like watching The Hobbit. I was like, yeah, I forgot Gandalf was in this. Yeah, I forgot. What do you call him? Hugo Weaving was in this. Oh, yeah, I forgot pretty much the entire original cast are in this.
Like, just one that annoys me most is Legolas, who's not even in the fucking books, makes an appearance just to tie in Lord of the Rings. It's unnecessary.
That's the second film, which is like, oh god, why is he in it? But then it's like, oh yeah, she's in it, and then it's just like nothing happens in the second one at all, other than they get into some barrels and go down a river.
My vivid memories of the book is the barrel bit. I remember being in primary school and drawing like a picture. Like, well, what do you remember? What's your favorite bit in drawing the barrels? The other thing, I fell asleep in the second one, and also I don't know why, but I think I saw the second Hobbit film not knowing there was going to be a third one, and it just ends the way it does with Smaug flying off to kill everybody, and I'm like,
oh yeah, I'm just getting prepared for this. This is getting really good.
And then it's like, fuck, I've got a year to wait for it. But yeah, no, like I said, I'm up there. The Hobbits are pretty good, except from the second one. As a Hobbit trilogy, like as a film, I'm going to class it as one film. It's pretty good. And then the other thing that I didn't watch, but I was like, that film's amazing. But I didn't want to watch it on a small screen. I was like, I want to watch it, but I'm not going to watch it. It was Mortal Kombat, the new one.
Yeah.
I was like,
he sent me a picture of it of the films, Mortal Kombat. Then right next to it was Godzilla.
Yeah, it was Godzilla. Chris would have loved it. All the Godzillas, all the King of the Monsters, Kong.
Really?
I was just like, I'm going to put the Hobbits on. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Hobbit 1, Hobbit 3, miss out 2. Pretty much all you need to know is they go down a barrel and they wake up a dragon.
They wake up the dragon, yeah.
Then you can just skip the 3 straight off.
Cover them in gold.
Right, so we better go on to some quick news since we talked for a lot. So I'm going to do a couple of quick bits of news and Chris can fill in the gaps because I'm pretty sure he's got all the same stuff.
I've got one very quick one.
I would be surprised.
Okay. So my biggest news, pretty much all my news relates to one man and one man only. It is the one and only Ryan Reynolds.
I thought it might be. I don't know why. Just the way you started speaking, I was like, it's going to be Ryan Reynolds again.
So Netflix have announced that they've now officially acquired the Gears of War franchise. They're now making a live action Gears of War, and they're also going to make an adult anime kind of movie as well to tide us over.
See, violent, I would imagine, when you say adult anime.
Yeah.
There'll be just be blood gushing out of people's chests and all that.
However, the original creator of Gears of War has stated that the 2 perfect people for him would be Dave Bautista and Ryan Reynolds.
I agree with Dave Bautista.
Which apparently the rumors are that Dave Bautista will just come straight in. He wants to do it.
I think
he's been wanting to do it for years.
It's like his Black Adam as to Dwayne Johnson. I think.
Exactly. And then Ryan Reynolds in there. I think that's going to spice up things. I'm going to watch it anyway. But you had Ryan Reynolds in there. I can see characters he could play quite simply, but some of them could be a bit too Deadpool-y. So we do have that. Which then, speaking of Ryan Reynolds, let's get Ryan Reynolds news out. Deadpool. He's already said that Deadpool 3 will be filming before summer next year. That is his production window. So it will be starting before summer, going into summer. The film will be done before the end of the summer, and then hopefully we get a 24 year.
Yeah.
24. It'll be 2024. So I can't wait to watch that. I want to watch it now. And also we've got the new Ryan Reynolds, which I didn't know because we talked about it, the trailer of the Ryan Reynolds Will Ferrell film.
Oh, yeah.
This is the most expensive Christmas film ever made.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I think we get it next week on Apple TV over here.
Oh, yeah.
It's kicking off the Christmas early.
Yeah.
So I'm watching that bad boy. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's next week to step on Bruce's toes on forecasting and stuff like that. Because I know he always misses all streaming services.
I might have missed that one out. Apple Plus is not one I even check, so I need to see it advertised to me to catch Apple Plus.
So other than that, the quick highlight of news, these are all basically kind of stuff that's getting made in the future, which it's not happened yet, but it's all rumors and stuff like that. Except from Harold and Kumar 4, which the film that
three?
I was going to say, I didn't realise it was a third film.
Yeah, I think it's the Christmas one. Yeah, the
That's
Christmas one.
Right, okay.
But yeah, ever since which one of them was working for the president in the White House? Is that Kumar?
Kumar.
Yeah. So he's in the New American Horror Story. Actually, he's front and center. He plays a detective in the New American Horror Story. So you can tell he's back ready to act and do things. So yeah, Harold and Kumar 4. That's my one pick. That's not Ryan Reynolds, but
one of the best killing offs of a character ever in a TV series was is it Zach? No, Cal Penn. Is that his name?
Cal Penn, yeah.
Cal Penn. Just being like, I don't know, fourth build in House.
He wasn't House,
and then all of a sudden getting the job working at the White House. So just episode 7, all of a sudden, spoiler alert for House, he's just killed himself at the beginning of an episode and he's gone and never comes back. I mean, he's dead. Like, when episode ends, he's one of the team solving all the medical mysteries and all that. Next episode, oh, well, he's dead. He was in love with another character and it was unfulfilled love and it never was going to work. So he just killed himself and he's not going to be in the show anymore. It's like, oh, brilliant. There we go. The most shocking death ever on TV.
So, and then the last thing I've got is a little bit of rumor, which I think we can all see coming because we've got Black Panther coming out very soon. So, of course, all Marvel characters that have said, oh, we're not coming back, we're not doing this. So, apparently, Robert Downey Jr. has jumped ship and he's going to go and be in DC now.
Oh, okay.
So, rumors are that he's going to go work with James Gunn as another DC comic book character, is the hot press rumors.
I'm trying to think of a DC guy. It's like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be Carnage if it is.
Well,
Batman.
Who do people think is going to be? Because it can't be Batman, can it?
No, it can't be Batman, but I don't know. They can't do
DC's
that.
agree.
But I've like ever since this DC like crossover happened, and I think when we're off air, it came out that DC were in talks with Kevin Feige as well. So they were in deep talks with Kevin Feige with apparently 6 months discussion. So that's how like deep this went, and apparently it was Kevin Feige just turned around and went, James Gunn's your man.
Take James Gunn. Yeah, we're done with him.
It's like no, but apparently it was like he knows how we do things, and so my rumors right here are that Kevin Feige's done this. Put James Gunn in. James Gunn's worked for both Marvel and now he's going to make DC better. And then suddenly they can get to a position where it's DC versus Marvel and we get the ultimate movie.
That'd be good.
Yeah. You raise your competition up to the point where they're almost your level and then you can have a big crossover again where you beat them.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
You need to bring
back in your corner.
Like Chris Evans, Captain America, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. You have to bring back the originals.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Chris Evans as well, it's the time with every year it comes around when a new Marvel film comes out. Chris Evans really misses playing Captain America. He stated on an interview.
I miss America's butt.
So, well, you're going to get fake America's butt soon in the Thunderbolts.
I can remember when he came in, how hated he was.
But I liked how that worked though, because he was meant to be hated. I thought it was perfect.
I didn't mind how he looked. It was just when that meme came out that he looks like the guy from Up.
From Up, yeah.
I was like, that's when it really ruined it for me. But so yeah, that's my news, Chris. You fill in. You probably got some banging news. I'll try to jump around.
Well, I'm going to start off with the one that broke my heart. No more Henry Cavill as The Witcher.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Because of Superman 2, the bastards. And now we're getting Liam Hemsworth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, right, here's the problem I have with this whole story, right? So Chris, what do you call him? Henry Cavill, massive Witcher fan. He plays the games, he reads the books, he knows the story.
Mm-hmm.
He basically said, I'm going to go for Superman. It's just what I have to do. I'll leave you in the good hands of Liam Hemsworth. That was the day 1 announcement. Day 2 announcement comes out. Yeah, they're not going to copy the story from the games or the books, and they're doing their own thing, which is why I've left. It's like instantaneously, we want him back. We don't want Liam Hemsworth. We don't want this Witcher, whatever you're going to give us. Give us Henry Cavill back. Pure bastard.
So I might watch season 3 because it's the last one with Cavill. That's it. It's
going to be emotional for you.
Once again, I watched the first episode of The Witcher, and I think I had more idea what was going on in that than I did in Andor. The Witcher is meant to be confusing.
1 is absolutely banging.
Oh yeah, it's banging, and then you get to the end of it and went, that was all out of sync. Now it makes sense. Go back and watch it and you'll understand what's going on.
Yep.
It's one of the only seasons I've kind of double watched because I was so fucking confused.
I literally, before season 2 came out, I watched season 1 and I was like, this makes so much more sense. I don't know what's happening.
I didn't know what's happened.
Yeah. But apart from that, some proper news. Black Panther and 12 Years a Slave star Lupita Nyong'o.
Well pronounced.
Yeah. Is going to be starring in A Quiet Place spin-off, A Quiet Place Day 1, which is basically just the aliens first day on Earth and what happened.
Which I thought they did.
They did at the beginning of Quiet Place 2, yeah. So
Yeah.
a different
I think it's
perspective.
going to be more in detail without. I don't know what the family's called, but it's going to be without Krasinski's family.
Krasinski's.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a big fan of the Quiet Places.
I haven't seen the second one yet. I need to go
second
back and
one's
watch
good.
it.
I'm sure
think
he's also been announced that he's going to be in the new Spider-Man. What's it? The multiverse one.
Oh, yeah, the
Cartoon
across
one.
the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse one, yeah. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he's going to be playing Spider-Punk in it, which is
That's
a punk
right.
version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
Who are you
getting
talking
around.
about?
Your actor dude.
I'm Lupita Nyong'o, the girl
Oh, is it?
from Black Panther. Wait, what's she called? Nakia.
Yeah, well, I know who you meant. I thought you were talking
yeah.
about someone else, Andy. I saw someone.
Oh yeah, it
I
was.
yeah.
I was just thinking of other Black Panther characters.
Michael B. Jordan. That's
I
who
know
you're
who you
thinking
mean,
of.
the
Yeah.
guy it's in the
No, it's the
Not
other
the-
guy. The guy who got the
No.
goats.
Oh no, you're right. Aye. Ah. Oh,
Daniel-
Daniel
man.
Kaluuya.
that's him, Daniel
That's
Kaluuya.
it. Yeah,
That's
he's
right,
in
there
that.
we go.
Yeah. I was wondering what the hell you're going. You
I
know.
was just going with Black Panther characters that are jumping into other movies.
Yeah. Jimon Hunsu,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yes,
guy
the
that's
guy
in
who
Guardians of the Galaxy.
he always turns up in things. It's like, oh, it's the guy
Yeah.
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, him and randomly Jerry Halliwell of the Spice Girls fame are going to be have joined the Gran Turismo cast. You know, that
Unbelievable.
random, yeah.
What is
I think
this
they've
film?
gone for the most random casts.
It is genuinely it's based on Sony's game, like
Yeah.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
This is like when they did. Was it? I can't remember that thing
Was
with
that a
Aaron
Need for
Paul in
Speed
it.
film?
Aye,
Oh,
Need for Speed.
Burnout.
No, Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. It had what do you call him?
Oh, yeah.
Jesse. From
Aye, Aaron Paul.
Some-
Yeah.
What else I forgot? The Crow remake with starring Bill Skarsgård. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
a good Skarsgård. He loves a little bit of face paint as well because he was in it. That's finished filming, so it's in post production, so it should be out next year.
Has the Crow ever? Like, has it got any legs, or has all of the hype for the Crow because Brandon Lee died when they filmed it?
Oh, I think definitely. So,
It's got a cult following.
Yes,
Yeah, but is it not just because Brandon Lee died?
I'm pretty
when
sure
they
it
made
is because I mean the film's a bit like I know somebody's going to hate me for this. Like they literally love the Crow and that, but it's like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
like the comic's kind of good. It's like
Yeah.
oh, this kind of anti-hero, like you're always going to go around killing people. But to me, the Punisher's better. Like
Yes.
like I don't understand the whole Crow thing. I think it is just this whole death on set.
I
made
feel
it
like
cult.
there's about 20 versions of it as well, and none of them are like main
Good.
pop culture. It's always
Yeah.
like for Crow fans, and the Crow fans stick to their Crow stuff, and nobody else
Yeah.
gets involved with it. So I don't know why they keep making it, unless that makes billions of dollars that no one else sees. Maybe I don't know.
See, I've only got to stuck him out, well, obviously because of the death, but Sting. Because Sting
for me,
dresses up like the Crow.
genuinely, that's the most I know about it is what Sting has done
Yep.
in WCW in the mid 90s.
This is for Bruce. Toho are doing another Godzilla film.
I
Their
saw
first since 2016.
I've yet to see their one. Their last one's meant to be really good, but I've not seen it yet.
Is that the one where he like breaks Earth or something like that?
I think so.
Shin
Yeah,
Godzilla,
yeah.
or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
It goes like
So-
proper nuclear, double million nuclear or something like
I
that.
still feel like what needs to happen in this podcast, right, is we need to do like a Godzilla special where some like rich Japanese person buys us tickets to go to Japan and Tokyo, and then we can all stay at the Godzilla hotel.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Oh, I'm up for that.
Where
Where
like
like
the
watch it,
hotel-
just like a little GoPro, so we've like a live stream to start watching the film, and me and
Yeah.
Bruce just be like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" I was like, "This is fucking shit."
Because like apparently the
Just
hotel
this
room's shaking stuff like that, and then if you open your curtains, like you can actually see like they have like videos of
Oh.
just stomping around and stuff like that. And you go to the buffet
I don't-
restaurants, big hand comes through, or like Kong stuff, and it's got like everything in it.
Oh,
And,
that
like,
sounds awesome.
Like Mothra
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like just like bits of wall flap out, and it's just like it's like it looks insane. This hotel.
Sounds great. If we were there, I want to go to the real life Super Mario thing. Have you seen that? Where it looks like the game.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's animated, but it's actually a real thing that's there. It looks unbelievable. Have a look for that, Chris. If you.
Oh, I want to go to Japan now.
Yeah.
So yeah, any rich Japanese backers, if you want us for a week or so, if you want us to fill any vending machines, we can do that.
Oh, it needs to be next year. I've got no more holidays to take.
Wait till the weather's nice again.
Yeah. And my last bit is just a little rumor. Studio Ghibli have teased a little collaboration with Lucasfilm. All they've put in their little Twitter is a little Lucasfilm, so there's a future project coming up between them two, I think.
I have not seen a single second of all the Studio Ghibli stuff, but I know they're very popular as well. They're more center pop culture than The Crow is, but again, I've never seen any of it. So
Yeah,
Very
my girl's like the anime style. So don't know what it is. Could be Indiana Jones. Could be Star Wars. I'm more inclined to think Star Wars.
It's gonna be Star Wars. It's gonna be some
Probably,
animated Star Wars thing.
They're milking Star Wars for all it's worth at the moment.
Yeah. So.
Blue milk in it.
Yeah, they're milking it.
So that's my last little teaser.
Right, Bruce, did we hit in any years, or did you got completely separate news?
Absolutely separate, and we have done it again because we can't not do it. Taking her first acting role in 20 years in The Forest Hills, Shelley Duvall.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The week we did The Shining, obviously probably they promoted it because everyone's watching The Shining around now. 20 years since she acted, and we do The Shining, and she's coming back to acting. And like, I would not have reckoned that. Like, I could have watched the trailer not knowing it's her and wouldn't have pointed out to her. She looks totally different now because it's been 20 years since she acted, but it's like 40 years since she was in The Shining and looked like what Shelley Duvall looks like. But yeah. The Forest Hills, it's called. I think it's a horror movie, from best I can tell, or best I can remember. I wrote the news down a while ago. But yeah, Shelley Duvall, out of nowhere, out of retirement. She heard we were doing The Shining, so she's going to.
This podcast is bringing back careers. If you want your career resurrected, look at Devon Sawa now.
It works with.
I can't stop
Brendan
watching
Fraser.
Devon Sawa.
They work
Brendan
with you,
Fraser,
Chris?
yeah.
Brendan Fraser, yeah, we rekindled his thing. Who else
Quickly
we
think of an actor who hasn't been around for a while.
I think we kind of almost did it with Justin Long. If we had done this week's podcast, Waiting, before Barbarian came out, I'd be like, where's Justin Long been?
And Clerks 3.
I like Clerks 3, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, almost with Justin Long, but yeah, somebody else beat us to the punch on that one.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a lot to take in. There's a lot of choices to watch there. So I can't even recap them all. Watch the Marvel stuff. Watch Black Adam again. Bruce recommends it.
Yes, watch Black Adam.
Watch American Horror Story. Make sure your kids are away and you're in a soundproof booth. You're pretty much going to watch some hardcore porn right there. It's a good story, is what I'll say. And oh yeah, we've got to do the forecast.
And I'm feeling you were winding some things up there, but I thought you were just segueing. But yes,
I forgot the forecast. What else have you got to like? None of that's good for you. What can you forecast? What can people watch next week?
That's what
there's one big one I'm going to be watching.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully I hit on it. So I've got last week, but this is completely unforecasted last week because we weren't here. But there was an anime was number 5 in the UK last week. One Piece film : Red. I don't know what it is, but it's an anime. So that was number 5. Living, a film that came out that we never talked about because we were off. Bill Nighy stars as a bureaucrat in 1950s London, learns that he has a fatal illness, so starts to live a little. So that sounds like the weekly British film that comes out that a certain type of person goes to watch and enjoys, that rocks up on BBC One in about 3 years, that sort of thing. Number 3, Banshees of Inisherin. Number 2, Lyle Lyle Crocodile. Number 1, Black Adam. So yeah, the same films that we've been having. Coming out this week though, and I'm assuming this is what Andy's going to go see, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I am also intending to go see it early next week.
Well, I'm not going to. I was going to go watch it when it first came out, but I'm going to wait for Meerkat Tuesday because I'm.
Disney absolutely did Nicola, and she was like flicking through Disney, and she went, new Black Panther's in that. I went, I fucking highly doubt it. It's not out for another week, Nick. It's like, it is. It's right there. I was like, click on it. I can 100% guarantee it's not there. She went, I fucking tell you, it's Black Panther 2. The trailer. They put trailers on Disney and I fucking got her.
Just to get everybody watching minutes. And upon watching, I watched a YouTube video just doing the 10 years of Black Panthers, and like in terms of storyline wise, real life wise, there's been 10 years of Black Panther within the MCU. And I thought, I'll watch this to get a refresher. And it's mad to think that very little, if nothing, has happened with the characters of Black Panther since Endgame. And think how long ago Endgame was, and we've seen like, I don't know, one Wakandan here and there, but none of the main characters involved. It's like they've got a lot of ground to cover, and also explain how T'Challa's dead. Like last time we saw him, he was saving the world with the rest of the Avengers and all that, and it's like he's gone now. So a lot of
I reckon, right? I can make my own little story here. So like, did we actually what happened after like Endgame? Could he have got stamped on by Ant-Man?
I was thinking that might have happened. That they might retcon him surviving. Yeah.
Like it's like who actually survived there? And it's like, oh wait, you see him just squished into the ground, going, oh. Because
was he not at Tony's funeral?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't, and we just
maybe he just died of a broken heart. Like him and Tony became really good friends.
Because the biggest problem I'm going to have, right, and I'm all speculating, I'm not seeing the film, don't know anything, is Thanos, big bad.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to kill him? Like, who's going to be this big bad to kill him? Just like randomly, he dies off screen. Like this big bad's so badass, you don't actually get to see him, and like he survived all that. He was Black Panther, didn't become Black Panther, came Black Panther again, saved his nation. put Starbucks everywhere. Like, what's going to happen to this man that gave us Starbucks?
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Yeah,
That's the one gag from Black Panther I remembered.
It does feel like it's a big deal MCU wise. This almost back to back with Ant-Man is like, okay, we're actually the big time characters are back now. You've had all these new ones that you don't particularly care about. That's the big movie. I actually can't find another film that's coming this week, which kind of makes sense.
It would make sense. Everybody's dodging it.
Yeah. Streaming though, Netflix have got 2 this week. One is a documentary called FIFA Uncovered, where they're going to expose FIFA for being the most corrupt thing in the world. Everyone knows FIFA already is the most corrupt thing in the entire world. But another film, a Christmas film starring Lindsay Lohan called Falling for Christmas, that looks awful, but it's coming out this weekend on Netflix.
Just saying Lindsay Lohan associated with the film is awful.
It must be bad. And then Sky Cinema have got their own premiere of their own produced film starring Russell Crowe. Now, the last time one of these came up in the podcast, it was like Andy's movie of the year.
Yep.
It's called Poker Face. I know nothing else of it. I just saw a trailer, but like a still of his face, and it said Poker Face next to him this weekend on Sky Cinema. So yeah, have a look for that. I'm assuming it's about poker.
Going by his road rage film, he loses a hand at poker and goes on a killing spree.
That'd be amazing. I'll watch that.
So yeah, Russell Crowe, Poker Face is this weekend as well. And that's my only streaming picks, Andy. Did you say I was going to miss one? I don't know if you said I was going to miss one or not.
Next week should be the Apple TV.
Apple TV one, that's right. So that's it. So coming up, I've got some details finally about Glass Onion, the Knives Out sequel, because Netflix have made it. It's going to be in cinemas for a week on the 23rd of November, and then it comes out on Netflix on the 23rd of December. So it's out for a week in cinemas, then 3 weeks of not being out, and then you can watch it at home. So if you can wait a month to avoid spoilers for Glass Onion, you can watch it at home.
Are the Americans getting it straight away in Netflix, or is it the same everywhere?
Presumably it's the same.
Right.
You would think, but I didn't have that much information. And then December, Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Oh yeah.
I guess that every week. Right? And Ant-Man in January, I think, if I remember rightly. And that's me.
February, isn't it?
Oh, February then. Okay, I had it on my.
Pretty sure I've already scheduled that in for Valentine's. Ant-Man. There you go. So basically, we're all going to watch Black Panther. Is pretty much what's going to happen. We're not going to watch anything else. But if you don't have anything else to watch, you could go and watch Waiting while you wait for things to come out. Because that is Chris's pick on the podcast, which you will be able to catch for 2 days after you've listened to this episode if you listen to it live. So we shall see you next week for more news, and we shall see you in about 2 days for Waiting.